Hello, good day. This is Dr. Ligardo R. Palate Jr. I am currently working in the Department of Education as the secondary school principal too, managing the senior high school department of Dr. Cecilio Potong National High School in Tagbilaran City. I am also the research director of the school and in the same time, the chairman of the Research Technical Working Committee of the Division of City Schools, Tagbilaran City. So I'll be giving you a short discussion about how to combine qualitative and quantitative research methods as my first topic because the terminal requirement of this course is to produce a sample research. And it is advisable that your research would be falling within the qualitative and quantitative research methods. So next methods research draws on potential strengths of both qualitative and quantitative methods. This allows the researcher to explore diverse perspectives and uncover relationships that exist between the intricate layers of our multifaceted research questions. Mixed methods research has developed rapidly in the last few years, emerging as a research methodology with a recognized name and distinct identity. And this is popular in the fields of education, health sciences, psychology, and sociology. The overall purpose and central premise of mixed method studies is that the use of quantitative and qualitative approaches in combination provides a better understanding of research problems and complex phenomena than either using the approach alone. So let's go now to the specific techniques of combining qualitative and quantitative research methods. And by the way, I am a researcher that is more trained on the qualitative methodologies because my field of interest is sociology and education. So I am more my past researches really follow the qualitative research methods. But when I expose myself to different international seminars and conferences, and I was able to observe that, you know, a research that uses qualitative and quantitative research methods has more strength compared to using either methodologies. So I will be sharing to you my personal techniques. First is the formulation of a research title. So we all know that the title summarizes the main idea or ideas of your study. So you have to understand that a good title contains the fewest possible words that adequately describe the contents and or purpose of your research paper. The title presents the purpose of the research. It is the narrative tone of the paper, and it will also, as if possible, presents the methods used by the research. In quantitative research, the title is direct to the point, while in the qualitative research, the researcher may play or can play with words, making it more dramatic. It is so in actual research, it is either that the title be more on the qualitative but presents the use of statistics as part of the methodology, or follows the pattern of quantitative research title but incorporates qualitative discussions of data presented. So there is incorporation of qualitative methodologies like the use of KII or the focus group discussion. So I am presenting to you sample research titles with the same topics. First topic focuses on the life of a working student. The second is begging in the city. Third is about a proposed electrical light setup because my school has a course on electrical installation and maintenance. So first is on the life of a working student. So if you look at how the qualitative research title was formulated, into the world of the home-based working students, a compilation of stories. So the presence of the word compilation already signifies that it is on the qualitative research method, plus the words into the world. Now, so it is not direct to the point, it's more literary compared to the quantitative research title, which is motivation and challenges of the home-based working students. So it focuses directly to the variables, motivation, and challenges in relation to the life of our working students. Now, so it is very clear that there is a distinct differences between the quali and the quanti with this research title. So the second one is on the begging in the city. So for the qualitative methodology, the student proposed Jose and the city, a case study of street beggar in Tagbiran City. So it is clear that there is the use of the rhyming words and the dramatic approach with this Jose and the city and the use of the words the case study. So a case study is one of the methodologies in qualitative research. Yes, in the qualitative research. Compared to its counterpart in the quantitative research, we have begging in the cities, complexities, degree of organization, and embedded risks. So it is also direct to the point. So it presented the phenomenon begging in the city in relation to the variables complexities, degree of organizations, and embedded risks. So that's it for number two. For number three, so we have here on proposed electrical light setup. So for the qualitative, we have here expert's opinion on a proposed electrical light setup for indoor plants. So the presence of the words expert's opinion. So there is already the setup, the electrical light setup, and then the researchers would have the services of experts electricians that would look into the projects and giving comments on how to improve it. So that's it. But for the quantitative research methodology, the proposed title is Acceptability of the Proposed Electrical Light Setup for Indoor Plants. So here, the researchers plan to create an electrical light setup for indoor plants, and then they will have it tested, and then the respondents would look into the acceptability. So there would be a checklist with regards to the proposed electrical setup if it follows the requirements of a good electrical light setup. So that's it. So with these three titles, I hope that you are given more insights with regards to how a research title would be formulated following the qualitative and the quantitative research methodologies. So let's go to number two, which is the development of survey instruments, focusing on the specific questions or items in the questionnaire. So the researcher or group of researchers may conduct either a key informant interview to a person who is expert in the field of investigation using one or two experts, or focus group discussion or FGD. So these are two popular ways of gathering information, the key informant interview or the KII, or the focus group discussion or FGD. So in FGD, there should be at least 4 practitioners. I would suggest 4 to 10 practitioners, specifically identified because of their ranks and experiences, and as much as possible, represent each cluster or group to help identify areas of investigation. So this is appropriate on the formulation of the statement of the problem or in the formulation of specific questions for the investigation. So by conducting either FGD or KII, the researcher or researchers would be helped or would be guided in the formulation of your questionnaire based on the data they gathered. So I'll be giving you an example to illustrate the specific method in combining qualitative and quantitative methodologies. So first situation is Anna is interested to study about the major issues and concerns in the fish sanctuary. She made an appointment with the warden of the fish sanctuary. So after that, after the key informant interview, Anna then produced a questionnaire. And because she wants to further validate her questionnaire, then she returned for some corrections and verifications. And after that, she was able to produce a valid questionnaire. Then another example is about, it's about the TVL or in about cookery. So situation B, student Carlo remembered eating a dish cooked by his late grandmother and wanted to replicate the same recipe and possibly improve it. However, his grandmother is dead already, and unfortunately, there was no recording, even written records of the recipe. So Carlo contacted his aunts for online conference about the family dish. So after the series of key informant interview or focus group discussion, if Carlo was able to huddle together his aunts. So out of that conference, Carlo was able to produce the recipe for experimental purposes. Okay, that's it. Then with A, formulation of the research title, and then B, uh, the development of survey questionnaires, focusing on the specific questions or items in the questionnaire. So letter C is identifying the sample size for your respondents. So both respondents in the quali and the quanti part will be identified using a determined sampling method. Like for instance, for the quali, for the key informant interview or the KII. So you have to identify the most suitable, the most learned, the most appropriate person for the topic. So if your topic is all about how schools implemented the new curriculum after the 2 years of face-to-face teaching, learning interaction, so the best person to be interviewed for that topic is the principal. And then also for the focus group discussion, so there will be a representation from the administration, from the faculty, from the parents, and other stakeholders, including the students. So not just anybody, but you will be using certain form of qualifying methodologies with regards to the selection of your uh, respondents for your focus group discussion. So for the sampling method in the quanti, it's not really problematic because you will be using specific formulas. For example, you will be using the Sloven's formula when the researcher has no idea of the population's behavior and sample size. So for quali, as what I mentioned already, you will be selecting the most appropriate. And there's also a specific methodology for that. I called it a funneling method. Yes, a funneling method. Okay, so I am showing you the illustration of the funneling method. So with our first example on the topic about the working students. You want to know more about the life of your working students. So you'll be using the funneling method. So how to identify? So first, you consider the senior high school students as your sample size or as your respondents. But because here in my school, the senior high school students is more than 3,000. So you're only interested to study about the ABM students or the accountancy, business, and management students. And the total population of the ABM strand is in the 400. Okay, in the 400. So it's still numerous. So you observe from your data as the school advisor or as the class advisor that mostly of the working students are male. So you only selected male ABM students. And then you realize that out of the 400, there were like 30 male ABM students who are working students. So you decided to select only the male ABM students who are class officers because you want to add another question like how these male ABM students who are working students and with responsibilities as class officers uh, were able to juggle together the responsibilities as a student, as a working students, and as class officers. So at the end, your respondents are only the male ABM students. So that is an example of a funneling technique. So we're done with the three techniques, and let's go to the fourth technique. The fourth technique, which is about data collection, presentation, and discussion. So here, there are also four possible techniques that you may use to make your research more valid, with more strength now, and the panel has no choice but to approve your research because you have a very strong data gathering methodologies. So first is on collecting and analyzing both quantitative or the close-ended and qualitative or the open-ended. So for instance, our example, our research title here is COVID-19 pandemic, recalibrating academic goals and practices. So here in the collection and in the analysis of both the quantitative and the qualitative data. So for instance, you will start your investigation by gathering qualitative data. You started with the qualitative data and to assess the personal experiences of the students. So you started with the personal experiences of the students about your academic goals, about your academic practices, and how they're affected, how these goals and practices are affected by COVID-19. So with that data, you were able to formulate your research questions, and these research questions are translated into a survey questionnaire and using online platform for instance for an easier collection and tabulation of responses. So you use the Google survey. The researcher conducted a a survey uh, from the experiences, this time from the experiences of the teachers and the administrators in relation to the academic goals and practices. So after tabulating the data, after analyzing the data, you want to go further. Now, so another round of focus group discussion will be conducted to verify the result of the data and to enhance the explanation of your data. So you will be asking questions, FGD, both from teachers and administrators as one group for your focus group discussion. And if you don't have enough time or you have having problem with regards to gathering together your respondents, so you may use the key informant interview. This time you will be interviewing the school principal. Okay, so the second technique here in the data collection, presentation, and discussion, incorporating the qualitative and the quantitative methodologies, is on quantitative findings further explained by qualitative data. So here, the quantitative results are explained in more details or with more details through qualitative data. Since survey questionnaires are limited and may possibly limit the desired information, a thorough focus group discussion or KII or key informant interview will be conducted using the identified respondents who also answered the survey phase of the, excuse me, the investigation. So, for example, 75% of the respondents agreed that the modular instruction developed the reading skills. So this is contrary to the results of the investigations you used and you reviewed in your review of related literature, because the researchers and the authors presented a research finding or research findings that there was a decrease or a decay of the reading skills of the students, but your present investigation revealed otherwise, that a clear majority of 75% um, stated that the reading skills are developed. So this is a contradictory finding. So you want to know more. So you're interested as to why. But your research questionnaire was not able or is not capable of asking the question, why is this happening? Now, so only when you will be conducting FGD that you will be conducting FGD that you will be able to ask the question, why? What happened? Why is it that your reading skills are, you said that your reading skills are enhanced. So out of your FGD, the data from your focus group discussion revealed that the limited explanation from the printed modules actually encouraged them or the learners to look for additional information from educational books and websites. That's it. Now, so you are not just presuming, but you are looking, or you are not putting, or you are actually looking into the experiences or the real life explanation or the real life experiences of the students. You're not just inventing or presuming the possible explanation of this increase of reading skills, because you conducted FGD, and if you did not conduct FGD, then your data will be limited. Okay, so let's go to the third technique, which is all about qualitative findings further explained by quantitative data. So here, initial data were taken from either FGD or KII and used as basis for conducting a quantitative survey. So with our example, Anna, being interested to study about the issues and concern in the fish sanctuary, and she conducted an interview with the fish warden. So out of that uh, key informant interview, Anna was able to produce questionnaire, and then she conducted a survey. So with that, with that example, Anna gathered initially the qualitative data, and then she finally conducted a survey. So it is a clear example of how qualitative data were further enhanced by the result of the quantitative data analysis. So the final technique in collecting and analyzing both quantitative and qualitative data in research is the triangulation method. Triangulation method. So in sociology and education, triangulation method is the strongest, the methodology with the biggest strength, because it is not just a balance in gathering the quali and the quanti, but it's triangulation. There are three sources of information. So, for instance, you are conducting a study about misbehaving students. Now, so you want to know why. Now, so I am managing the senior high school department, and still there are students who are not acting like they are young adults. Now they are actually 18, 19, 20, and 21 on that age range, but still there are who are acting like they are, teenagers. They are kids. So with that
with that phenomenon. So you want to study or you want to know why. So your first method is you gathered initial data from the files of the guidance center and look into. Now, but this research is really very tedious, and you have to follow the Data Privacy Act. In the Philippines, we have the Data Privacy Act, so you have to ask permission from the parents that you will be using the records of the guidance center for research purposes only. No, it's not for personal consumption, but research purposes. So it is prohibited by even grades. When you will be utilizing grades for research purposes, it must be with the permission from the parents or guardian. So that is your first source of information, the initial data from the files of the guidance center. And then secondly is you conducted a focus group discussion with the guidance counselor, with the parents and selected teachers, um, for not talking into the issue, talking into the phenomenon. And the third uh, data gathering method that you will incorporate in your triangulation method is the actual survey conducted to the student respondents. And if you want a more valid and reliable research result, then you will be conducting another set of EFGD, and this time it will involve selected students. Okay, so I hope that with this simple lecture, I was able to guide you in a better understanding of how to combine the qualitative and the quantitative research methods. So I hope that you have on mind already, you have it in your mind, possible research topics to be conducted as part of the terminal requirement of the research. So I hope you will be having a good day and keep safe everyone. So in Visayan language, amping tatanan. Bye-bye.